Just a few weeks ago, the Track Midwest Cup Series took on 4 of North America's greatest road courses in the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car. The Porsche's screaming flat-six engine propels the rear-engine beast up to speeds of over 160 miles per hour. But what if we told you that raw speed isn't the most important thing about a race car? What if we told you that a tiny little naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that makes 155 horsepower could put on even better races? You should believe it. The Global Mazda MX-5 Miata weighs under 2,000 pounds, and it makes the 911 Cup car look like an 18-wheeler in comparison. So now we head into another season, this time with 6 races in the MX-5, and we start at the smallest track we could find, Lime Rock Park. With a full grid, each car here will be separated by 133 feet. So if you thought Track Midwest was nuts before, just wait until we go racing tonight. Finian, 58 cars on the grid, and it's probably even more than that since we checked, but it's going to be absolutely crazy tonight.
Yeah, again, we have an absolutely massive field here tonight for an exhibition race, not a points event, but it will be the first event for these guys this season, and it's going to be really, really interesting, especially considering the fact that it is an exhibition event. I think it's going to be a lot more hectic considering guys don't have to worry about points.
Absolutely no points on the line here tonight, and a cursory glance at our ticker shows well over 55 cars entered in tonight's event. And Finian, Lime Rock Park is known for being tiny, and tonight it's going to feel even smaller, maybe even claustrophobic out there in this car.
Yeah, and they were looking at, who is that, Jeremy Swenson, currently leading the charts only by a few thousandths of a second.
And wide he goes, probably picks up an off track there. Finian, another thing we have to talk about tonight as we take a look at Kenton Cook, who raced at the Michelin Pilot Challenge at Daytona a few weeks ago, and unfortunately had, I believe it was a tire failure that put Cook out of the race there. But one of the things we have to talk about tonight is how we're going to run this stream. It's going to be a little bit different due to the number of cars that are here. We won't be able to go back and look at every single incident because with 60 plus cars starting this race, I'm sure there's going to be lots of single car spins and maybe, you know, multi-car accidents, but we're going to try to keep the action focused on the racing because we'll miss it. It's only a 15-minute race. We're going to do 2 of them tonight with an inverted top 10. So if we start going back and looking at too many accidents, we're going to miss all the good stuff happening up front. Rob Wilkinson in the 37 car returning, Eric Coutil again as well, and Finian, sometimes this MX-5 really plays into the hands of different drivers than the Porsche 911 Cup car. Obviously, that car, rear-engined, has a lot of power, not a lot of driver assist, but this car's different. It's an H-pattern gearbox. It's got a lot less power, a lot less torque, and you can kind of lean on each other a little bit in this car because the speeds are a lot lower, and that means a lot more fun for some of these drivers.
Yeah, indeed, and I think really just because of the ease of driving this car, it's not entirely easy to drive, especially when you're trying to go as fast as possible, but definitely brings the feel a lot closer than what we would see in the Porsche 911. So we're going to see a lot of drivers grouped up towards the front. We're going to see pretty much 60 cars in one big draft.
And we're riding on board now with Eric Coutil here into turn number 1, and obviously Lime Rock Park, Finian, this place is tiny, it's got tall curbs, it's very flowy, but it's almost like an oval in reverse. It's a lot of right-hand corners, so obviously I think you got to nail those right-handers, and honestly the setups here probably more lined up towards neutral, so you have to be careful in the left-handers that you don't get the car out of shape. There's not a whole lot of left-handers here, but they'll really throw you off if you get them wrong. But here we go up the hill, and this place is where we're going to see a lot of incidents.
Yeah, I think especially because you can see Coutil, if you heard the engine there, he actually got air. It left the track surface. It's going to happen to a lot of drivers, and if you're not careful and not expecting that and you land in the wrong spot with the wheel in the wrong position, you can end up seeing guys slide, and I really don't think these guys want to slide in front of 50-plus cars.
Yeah, and a final turn there that takes all your momentum out to the outside lane. You see Eric Coutil going for a little spin there as we take a look at Kevin Fennell here sitting at the exit or the entrance to turn number 1 right now, and Kevin Fennell and one of the other Kevins in here tonight, I believe it was, I have to look down the order to find him. Give me a moment. There's a lot of drivers in here. It's going to take me a second to look for names.
It's at times like this, I think we wish we had a search feature.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Let's try to scroll through the list of all the drivers here.
Well, there's two Kevins in this field, and both of them are NASA champions. So we have quite a lot of real-world racing experience in here tonight. And actually, you know what I can do is I can order them. I thought I could order them by name, but I guess not. So It started with a J. I can't remember what the name was. Oh, right there. He's right in front. Kevin Jander in the number 26. He's currently P number 12. So those guys, both NASA champions, and you're going to have to watch out for them because they're going to be driving through the field, as well as John Dee Allen, of course, one of Mazda's Road to Pro drivers in the Global MX-5 series. I believe it was a couple of years ago, 2017, I believe that was. Also, new ticker graphics here this week in all of 2019, and they got that nice colored box around the drivers now, and that will be the color of the class for multi-class events. Obviously not the case here in the Track Midwest Series, which is renaming and rebranding for next week as well. So, man, I'm already out of breath here as Justin Hill comes to a stop, but let's see who else. Alex Barroso back this week in the 39 car. He is currently 6th on the grid, and Finian talked about qualifying being important before in the Porsches. It's going to be extra important here tonight. Passing at Lime Rock is not easy. The only real place you can do it is down in turn number 1.
Yeah, that's probably the prime passing opportunity. If you're really ballsy, you can try doing it up the hill. But it's a very tough move to pull off. And yeah, just not that many. You might think that there's a lot of passing opportunities at Lime Rock, and that's how it looks on paper. But really, when you get to such a high skill level, really the only place that's gonna where it's gonna happen at is probably at, like you said, turn 1.
And a draft here as well. At bigger tracks is more important, but Lime Rock Park, we should also address it. This is the car that is the first car that you drive in iRacing when you join the service. It's the rookie level car, but that doesn't mean it doesn't take any skill to drive. At Lime Rock Park, the passing opportunities are limited. You have to use the draft to your advantage on the short straight. That is the front straight around here. Everywhere else, you're just got to kind of get yourself in line, but you're going to have to force your issues tonight to make any passes. And again, qualifying, if you don't qualify inside the top 15, I don't think you have a chance at winning either of these two races. So that means finishing well in race 1 is going to be paramount to running well in race 2. So with about 6.5 minutes remaining in qualifying, let's see who else is on the grid. Derek Yarbrough in the 857 coming into view. That camouflage car, and probably a poor choice of paint scheme tonight. I think you want that high visibility stuff on when you got 50-plus cars starting around you. So as the 857 works his way through last 2 corners here, there's a lot of rumble strip on that exit there, and you can use as much as you can without getting the car off the racetrack, but then you enter this last corner and not run off there, just some dirt and gravel, and that will send you for a spin if you hook the left rear tire outside of that. And
I can imagine they're definitely going to see at least someone spin there tonight. Just the way the corner kind of flows, you naturally end up going right on the curbs, and some drivers might overstep that a bit and end up looping it.
Also, what about, I mentioned earlier, the H-pattern gearbox here, Finian, so that brings in a different skill that we didn't see with the Porsche Cup car. Shifting in that car was relatively straightforward. All you had to do is click the paddle and you're in gear, but this car, on upshifts, you have to use the clutch. On downshifts, you can get away with just blipping the throttle and braking with your left foot, although some of the more experienced drivers may find that heel-toe downshifting is more comfortable for the engine and the transmission. So that's going to bring in another variable to this racing that we didn't see before and might separate the drivers here a little bit. John Dee Allen, again, with lots of experience with heel-toe downshifting and the MX-5, up in 2nd, and he's a first-time runner in this series, so obviously that's experience is paying off there as well. Other returning drivers, pretty much the rest of the field, Philip Corset there in the 222, back all the way in 51st. So the gap between first and last right now of the qualified drivers is 4 seconds, but between first and 34th is only 1 second.
Yeah, and again, that just comes into the nature really of this track as well. So it's a very Lime Rock Park, being, as you can see from the sky, very simple track, not really too entirely complex, and that leads to some very close racing tonight.
And we'll take a look at the conditions for tonight. Air temp 65 degrees, track temp 68 degrees, cloudy conditions, partly cloudy conditions, and 0 humidity, Finian. That sounds like a recipe for grip and more grip.
Yeah, it's probably like a desert out there. 0 humidity. But yeah.
I checked that value. That is correct. This is a new weather graphic we have here, and I did check it to make sure it was right. But no humidity in the air. This place is just absolutely dry as bone and going to be fast as heck, too. So we're looking forward to it. Again, 4 minutes remaining in qualifying now, and Jeremy Swenson still on pole with a 55.856. Alex Barroso in the 39 car, currently out on track in 6th, trying to improve his time. Oh, and also there's a new 11x incident limit too, which I wasn't even aware of, so that's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really easy to pick up incidents around Lime Rock, especially on corner exit in the last corner. So drivers have to be extremely careful. 2 car contacts, a couple off tracks, you're out of this race.
Yeah, you might not, and might seem like in 15 minutes, you know, that's not too bad. That's something you can deal with, but there you see, especially in that corner too, naturally guys just drop 1Xs every single lap. So you're going to have to be just a little bit careful, a little bit hesitant on where you place the car and how you put the car, because you don't want to get disqualified, and it can be very easy to do so.
Absolutely. So 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. Now again, a pair of 15-minute races with a top 10 field inversion. And I think most of the drivers have now pulled off the track. I think there might be a few still running around. Kevin Fennell in the 47, currently 13th on the board, trying to improve his time. And only 2 cars have not taken times in qualifying, which is vastly different. In the past, we've seen quite a few drivers not qualify, but I think the increased importance because of the massive grid is making people really, really want to put a lap down and try to start up as high as they can.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, people will be fine with starting back in 20th if we have a 20-car grid, but I mean, we have, again, 60 cars here tonight. If you don't qualify, you're starting in about 60th, so no one really wants that. So you want to at least qualify somewhere on the grid, at least in the 30s or 20s, hopefully. But yeah, again, massive field, and also you got to consider too, halfway through the field is only 30th, which in most fields is the entire field.
Yeah. Also, another thing I should full disclaimer here: this is the largest field that SimTV has ever broadcasted. Period. And with that comes a massive strain on my system resources on the computer that's streaming this. So fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly tonight. But if for some reason the streamers is to go down or you get a black screen, we'll be back as soon as physically possible. That did happen at Sonoma Raceway a couple weeks ago. I have taken measures to stop that from happening. A little overclock on the CPU, turning some settings down. But again, this is a massive strain on this computer that was never really designed for this level of competitors here. So fingers crossed everything goes well, but inside my computer is probably absolutely melting, and it's going to be worse on lap number 1. And another thing to mention, Finian, is that there actually is an overflow room for drivers that fail to qualify into this event, and they're running a race right now, so I'm sure they're having a lot of fun with a smaller grid that's more the size of the official series racing that you can experience in iRacing. But tonight, this is more like Week 13 level stuff with the amount of cars. 59 cars officially entered in this session. That's one short of the 60 max, so about a minute left now. And Alex Barroso does not improve his time, still at a 56.0 in 6th place. Jeremy Swenson still on pole with a 55.8. Ridiculously good lap times around here, by the way.
Yeah, indeed. And actually surprised that Canal Seal in the 23, he's stuck back in 10th. Expected a little bit better of a qualifying effort out of him, but he will start further back. I mean, could be worse. Could be starting much further down the order.
All right, so qualifying almost complete, and Barroso crosses the line that time. No improvement once again, a 56.7. So again, the Track Midwest Cup Series transitioning over to the MX-5 Miata for the next 6 weeks. And next week we head to Watkins Glen International, our home track, for what will be the first points-paying event. Again, this is an exhibition race here tonight, so no points on the line. That means the aggression level can go up quite a bit.
I think in some drivers' cases, they can be happy that it's an exhibition event because, again, considering how small and narrow this track is, what did you say that would be the distance of
133 feet.
Yeah, which really is not much at all in a race cars.
Yeah, and that's if and only if everyone is completely spread out. That isn't gonna happen. So,
and actually, if you look, if we can get the camera out of the last turn,
let's take a look here. I gotta focus on a car first. Last turn.
Yeah, you can see that there's actually. I guess I thought the camera.
Here, let's take another. Let's go from blimp camera up. Yeah. You see the bridge, the blue bridge on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. There's going to be cars wrapped all the way around there. Look on the far left of your screen. That is where the pole sitter is sitting. And keep in mind, I actually have the max number of cars turned down a little bit so I can not melt my computer to death.
Yeah,
so,
I believe we can't see the last 10 cars. So.
Yeah, so that's 5 rows of cars that are not appearing. But Finian, 59 cars about to take the grid for this race, and what that means also standing start for this race, so you got to slip that clutch and get into gear, and also record number 75 live viewers. That is a new record here on SimTV. So thanks everyone for joining. Hit that red subscribe button and that bell if you want to be notified. We're gonna have 7 days a week of sim racing action in 2019 starting in March. So if you're not subscribed, you definitely should be. We got some insane stuff coming up, and tomorrow multi-class racing with the Washington DC region SCCA. That'll be the Kia, the Mustang, and the MX-5 at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night. That's Eastern Standard Time. So I am really excited to get this one underway here, Finian, but obviously the rush down to turn number 1 is going to be absolutely crazy. Again, standing start here, and we have about 20 seconds until we get the command to go racing for about 17 or 18 laps, give or take, depending on the leader's pace.
Yeah, there are a lot of cars here tonight. I just can't get over how many MX-5s are here at Lime Rock.
Look at that grid.
And again, that's not even all the cars on the grid at the moment that we can see. But yeah, it's a lot of MX-5s here at Lime Rock and was never designed for this. But lights are on.
And we're about ready to go racing, and as we get towards the front...
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air, and we are racing here at Lime Rock Park.
Everyone gets a great start as we look off into turn 1. Here comes all the drivers.
Hoping my computer makes it through this alive.
And you can see everyone making it through relatively calmly, although a lot of scrambling here towards the back of the field.
A lot of scrambling indeed. Out up front, though, looks like so far Swenson hangs on to the lead. John Dee Allen, Kenton Cook, Rob Wilkinson, Eric Coutil, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Alex Barroso hangs on to 6th as we make our way down the back straightaway.
And here they head up the hill, and this is not a part of the track you want to be side by side. You go to see everyone already single filed out.
You got to get yourself single filed out here. Car goes wide. That's the purple car. I don't remember what vehicle that is. We can a lot of names to memorize here, but as we head up the hill, everyone so far so good. A little bit of argy-bargy towards the rear right here. Some contact. We got one upside down. John Dee Allen in the 59. He's all out of shape. He looks like he's got some big damage.
And that was another driver.
Eric Coutil in the 82. He's off the racetrack and retires to the pits. Up front, though, Kenton Cook passes for the lead as we complete lap number 1.
And you see him throwing up to the inside, cutting through the grass to the inside of Swenson. He's going to take that spot away. Also behind Rob Wilkinson in that blue, sorry, not the blue, the black and teal car, I believe is the car, Aquamarine. The car.
We're getting technical with the color codes now.
Looking for position right behind.
Jeremy Swenson in the 3 car gets the 37 of Rob Wilkinson all over that rear bumper cam here as we head down the back straightaway for the 2nd time already. 13.5 minutes remaining. And there's a little bit of a gap separation here between, I believe that's Doug Metzel in the 398 and Max Lupfer in the 688. He's trailing a whole other group of cars as we continue down the back straightaway. More passes going on towards the rear of the field here. John Dee Allen in the 59 car trying to recover from that lap 1 incident all the way back in 28th spot.
Yeah, we talk about making mistakes. If you make one, it can impact you huge. You saw Allen was in the top 5, now all the way back to 28 in only 1 lap.
Kenton Cook still out in front now by about 3.5 tenths of a second. Make that a little bit more like a second. Ooh, battle for 2nd place, 3rd place now. Wilkinson, Barroso, James Cather's in here as well. Ken House-Seal trying to find a place to run his race, but obviously, Finian, it's quite chaotic in here in the midfield.
Yeah, and already see these guys are playing with inches with each other's bumpers. They're not giving each other any room at all, and they're basically ready to tap each other if they're not getting the other driver is not moving. And you can see already nose to tail single file through the section.
Heading up the hill once again as we climb it, and so far it's been pretty minimal incidents considering the number of cars that have started, and the top 20 cars are all within 11 seconds of each other, which again around Lime Rock is a pretty phenomenal feat. And Cather's in the 9 car is all over Jeremy Swenson for 3rd place here. This is for a podium spot.
And here comes the 9 looking to the outside of Swenson. Swenson going to go up to defend his position, and they head off into 1. And this is going to be big, too. That straight home pass behind. That's Barroso to the inside of House-Seal. He puts him out of line, and also, who's that? Is
Justin
that
Hill coming through in the 50.
Yeah, Justin Hill trying to get a position. He'll get a spot as well.
He pushes on through, continuing to battle Max Lupfer in the 688, all out of line. He's got Austin Barnes in the 38, charging from behind. Matthew Reynolds in the 74. This is all a battle now for 13th place. Christopher Potter just up the road in that orange and black and gray camouflage car.
A lot of camo cars.
A lot of camo cars indeed, yes. We got, whoa, slow car stopped. Who was that? Andrew Abbott in the 25. No, it wasn't Andrew Abbott in the 25. Trying to figure out who that was. But we'll carry on. Rob Wilkinson now in 4th place. Oh, we got all cars wide. That's Barroso, Cathers, and Justin Hill all out of shape, and that's picking up more off tracks. You don't want those, Finian. 11x incident limit here tonight.
Yeah, we're talking about it too. Yeah, if these guys were to get an off track every single lap, they would get disqualified. We were expected to get 16 laps running in, already 5 laps in. But yeah, you got to make sure to keep the car on track, especially because you saw the 9, especially of Cathers, almost wrecked it. So was able to save it, but lost some time.
Here's Kevin Jander in the 26 car, and obviously, remember, this driver is one that is a NASA champion, obviously has some real-world racing experience inside the top 10 now, and makes his way up the hill here at Lime Rock Park, following the 23 of Ken Houseal, who we know is extremely talented, but you know who's really impressing me right now, Finney, is Kenton Cook out front by 1.1 seconds over Wilkinson.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job of managing this race and has not let anyone be able to catch up to him, so he's out of pretty much out of the drafting range, so all Cook has to do is just to look ahead and drive his own race, and everything will come through. You actually see him swerving down the front straight away, but here comes 23 of Canal Seal on the back of Alex Barroso trying to make a pass. And, almost
breaks in late.
Almost thought of sending it, couldn't get it done.
And more passes going on contact, and it looks like the 110 of Ali Salih is going to spin around in turn number 1. He'll collect it. Minimal damage to the rear bumper of that car, but he'll have to cut the course and probably pick up another penalty here. He'll have to pull off the racetrack. Here comes Potter and Lutford, Barnes, Reynolds, and a whole host of race cars. That's going to put the 110 down past 15th position and out of a contending spot.
Yeah, looks like he got a bump from someone. Couldn't tell who that car was, but I'm sure he's not going to be happy with whoever said driver is.
Oh, man, look at this chaos down the back straightaway here, Finnegan. You got to be careful here. These guys are not in a terrible spot to start race 2, so you don't want to lose any more positions than you already do if you're in the 110 spot.
Yeah, and you already saw that they backed out single file, but here they come racing.
Whoa! Chops the nose of the 81 of Richard Whittingham. And I'm sure Whittingham probably wasn't too appreciative of that, but you got to take what space he can get.
Yeah, and again, these guys are fighting for every single spot, and they're going to be fighting tooth and nail.
Let's take a look from up above the racetrack here, and you can see already the cars have spread out to occupy about 3/4 of the racetrack from front to back, but still Kenton Cook all out front. But last time by was not the quickest car on the racetrack. The quickest car was Rob Wilkinson in the number 37 car. It was P2 and reeling in the 8 car.
Yeah, by about 7/100ths of a second. So if he can just keep making up time here and there, he should be able to get in the draft range. And here comes Ken Houseal to the inside of Barroso.
We took a look there, couldn't quite do it. Houseal covers. Oh, the 39's loose in the wall. Hard goes Barroso. Going to have huge damage to the left side of that car.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for his car at all. Let's see if we can ride on board with him and see if he's got the wheel cocked at all.
Oh, inside the vehicle here. We'll get a look at the roll bar, and looks relatively straight. Could be a lot worse. Give it that. Craig Orr has just left the racetrack. The number 14 has an incident, but again, too much action. We don't want to pull away for single car incidents and small incidents, so we're going to stay on the racetrack, although Ali Salih again battling here with the 81 of Richard Whittingham, who he chopped the nose off of a couple laps ago, so I'm sure there might be a little bit of frustrations inside that green and white car.
He's got Kirby on the side of that car. Yeah, so he's trying to get around Salih, but yeah, Salih, you can see him taking very defensive lines, not letting the 81 by at all.
But as you look around the racetrack, everyone's starting to get separated just by a little bit, finding their own running room. We'll head back up. Jeremy Swenson, James Cathers following each other in their tracks. Battle for third going on. Swenson, remember, was our pole sitter in this car and lost a couple spots on the initial start. And as we speak about losing position, Wilkinson has actually dropped back about 7 or 8 tenths of a second from Cook.
Oh, and here comes the 9 looking to the outside and can't get it done. Swenson's going to easily defend the inside.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing. You can't really pass on the outside. This is too long of a corner to make a move, so you really have to get yourself in line and kind of follow the racetrack in here. We got a battle behind him, Houseal and Hill battling for, this is going to be 5th spot. Also, what about the transfer position for the field invert back here, Finney? Luke McGrew in the 32 car currently has it. Doug Metzel in the 398, the Falcon car. If he were to get himself in 10th, he'd be the pole sitter for the next race. So this is an extremely important position here.
Yeah, pretty much looking at starting, he's looking at starting either 10th or 1st. And, ooh, that's the 23.
Kevin Jander.
Yeah, and looks like he ran into some trouble. So we'll quickly take a look at that. Was in this battle with Ken Houseal. Oh, just lost it.
Yeah, dropped a wheel off in the grass and then set the car for a quick loop. So that car going to be out of contention. As we head back live, Cook now has a 2.1 second lead over Wilkinson. Jeremy Swenson still in 3rd, Cathers 4th, and Houseal 5th. There's a nice battle going on. Dan McVicker and Wes Malusik here in the 24, trying to chase him down. Oh, McVicker wide off the racetrack in the dirt, and Malusik goes to the inside to take advantage of it.
Oh, and here comes the 12 also as well, trying to get through, and you can see that McVicker's trying to get that car going again. But I was going to say, just about a comment on how he had a lot of wheel off. The car was bouncing up and down, so didn't have enough grip to rotate. Almost lost it coming out of the corner.
The one car, McVicker, goes wide. As we carry on, battle for 9th there. A look at Luke McGrew and Doug Metzel. Again, this is a battle for 9th place. And Christopher Potter is now in the transfer spot for the pole position for race number 2.
And the lap, car ahead lap down. So already working through some lap traffic.
There's battle for 20th now. Samuel Elgenbert and Dan McVicker. And just behind Ryan Waldo in the 42. He wants a piece of this as well. Top 20 gets you in the top third of drivers out here, Finian. I mean, we haven't looked on back much past that, but there is quite a few cars that are currently off track, so we're going to stick with the ones that are on track for now. As Doug Metzel, he's in the pits. Big damage to that 398 car here, Finian.
Yeah, and he's a big notable name from the Porsche series. And
dropped a wheel and just...
Yeah, and this is the types of wrecks where you have to watch out for. Just dipping a wheel out, losing control, and spinning out. So he's going to have to come into the pits. But here we have the battle between Canal and Justin Hill for 5th place. And this battle's been ongoing for quite a few laps.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Halcyon wants to hang on to that 5th spot. Doesn't want to give it away to Justin Hill, who... Hill did really well in the Porsche series, but I think he fits this car better. He's had a really, really good run tonight. With 4.5 minutes remaining, is sitting inside the top 10, and will start 4th in race number 2 as both those cars run wide on corner exit.
Again, these guys playing with fire here. I have honestly no idea how many incidents they have right now, but I can't imagine it's really low with the amount of objects you're seeing.
Yeah, actually, I did get word that potentially, as this is an exhibition event, there is no limit for tonight's race.
Oh, okay.
So that's potentially not a factor.
I'm sure guys are happy with that.
Whoa! Solly goes for a dive, and John Dee Allen is following this. Remember, Allen lost a bunch of spots early, but Max Lutford, Austin Barnes trying to fight off that 110 car charging back forward.
You gotta say, too, John Dee Allen, he went back to about almost 28th place. He's up to 14th now, so fantastic recovery from the 59 car, and he still has a few more positions to gain. He's got this 3-way battle up ahead for 11th.
Up the hill now. Wow, that was Solly, I believe, running a little bit wide and maintains the racetrack there. But again, that's a very scary place to run wide there, Finian, is if you get your car off the race course, the camber actually drops away and the racetrack's flat, and there's a big tire wall right there to catch your race car, pretty much like Sonoma Raceway in that regard. So you have to be really careful not to run out too wide there and get your car damaged. There's Samuel Elgenbert right there in 19th place, but here's a battle for position. That's Matthew Reynolds and Richard Winningham. This is going to be for 15th.
Yeah, so Winningham trying to fight with Sully earlier in the race, but wasn't able to get by him. So here he's having a fight with Reynolds in the 74. Behind him also is Bob Dyson.
Whoa! Max Lutford spins in turn 3 and a little bit of damage, but he'll get that car rolling again, but he's going to lose a bunch of spots here, and there was at least one other car involved. We'll quickly take a look. That's the 38 car of Austin Barnes. Oh, the 59 John Dee Allen tried to take it to the inside. I just don't know if they knew he was there, and stuck the car in the hole and tried to make it stick, but contact there sends Lutford around.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Lutford, who was running in and around 10th place. So
Kenton Cook fitting in. Where is he gone? Oh, he's up front. Just scared me for a second. But Rob Wilkinson now in 2nd place. It has maintained 2nd place, but hasn't been able to drag in the leader anymore. Hill has gotten around House Seal for 5th place now. We have about 2 minutes left. It's about 3 laps here at Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, time has gone down. This race has gone by very quickly. As Hill is ahead of House Seal. And again, House Seal, surprised that he's not up a little bit further, but has been doing a solid job, at least moving up from the starting position, started in around 10th.
And again, this battle has been going on for the entire race now, but can House Seal respond? Once Hill has gotten around, will he be able to drive away? Obviously, we talked about Lime Rock being a difficult place to pass, but is it a difficult place to pass back? I mean,
oh, wow.
A little bit of curb there.
A lot of curb. That car was 45 degrees on its side. House Seal trying to use up as much of the track as possible. Up ahead, Swenson and Cathers are swerving.
Yeah, they've actually traded positions here. So Cathers has actually gotten around Jeremy Swenson. And Hill runs a little bit wide in turns 1 and 2, and this is a very important corner to keep herself right up against the curb. And Hill lost a little bit of ground to House Seal here, but just up the road, Cathers and Swenson fighting again for 3rd place.
Yeah, this is big. We probably won't see a move this time through on the back straightaway, probably on the front straight. And this is really where you got to set up. You got to spend most of the lap at Lime Rock trying to set up the pass for the front straightaway. That's probably the best approach for it. And you see that Swenson...
that jump over the hill is really violent.
Yeah, so actually, let's ride on board with Swenson and see his run as he comes down through the last corner. You can see he's already very close to Cathers, which is what he needs to do.
And this should be white flag, potentially. Maybe one more. As I think it's all about where Kenton Cook was. And yeah, I think we'll have... Oh, no, this will be white flag here, Finian. As we got a pass for third. Swenson takes a look to the outside, and maybe we'll try to cross him over here in the exit of turn number 2. But that was probably his opportunity. Now he's got Justin Hill and House all over his rear bumper.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be going from playing offensive to defensive as he's trying to hold off Hill, who's been charging very hard, and House also trying to make an opportunity out of it.
Kenton Cook out front, getting through some lap traffic in that 8 car, but he has a 3.4-second lead over Rob Wilkinson. But the battle right now is for the podium position for third place. Cather, Swenson, Hill, House battling 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, coming up over the hill one final time as we work our way now to the end of the lap. Kenton Cook, in the real world and in the sim, is a winner, comes out of the final corner, will collect the race 1 victory here at Lime Rock Park. Rob Wilkinson a couple seconds behind. Slides that car up over the curb. Battle for 3rd, though. Side by side, House gets loose to the line. Cather's 3rd, Swenson 4th, Hill 5th, House 6th. Christopher Potter's jumped up a couple spots. Luke McGrew, Andrew Lanning now fighting for 8th place as they get to the line. Who's going to get there first? Looks like Luke McGrew will grab that spot, but only by about a half of a fender. More battles going on now. John Dee Allen comes home top 10 after that initial contact in the start of the race. Richard Winningham 15th, and the rest of the field comes on through. Was crashed beyond the line there. And the rest of the field now separated by quite a little bit. Aaron Spiegel and Jeff Pritchard in the 63. These guys are battling for position, but Dan Capaldo in the 567. This is a battle for position as well. Be for 29th spot as we make our way around to the checkered flag towards the rear of the field.
Yeah, everyone else coming through the line. Still only halfway through the grid. As Capaldo comes across the line, the last car on the lead lap.
All right, that is checkered flag, and that is all the race cars. And we'll take a look at our unofficial results here, Finian. Quite a massive, insane race. But there is the finishing results for that race as we take a look from 21st, 22nd on back. Again, I think we had about 30 cars on the lead lap at the end of that race, which is really, really impressive. And not even sure if it's set up to show that many drivers.
Yeah, Kenton Cook, notably too, if you look at his gap, or what we're looking at his gap, it was 3.6 seconds, so he's able to expand that. He was only trailing Wilkinson by about a second near the start of the race, and was able to expand another 2.6 seconds. So solid job out of Kenton Cook. And
take a look at 21st through 30th. Dan Capaldo comes home 30th place on the lead lap, but just barely, minus 55.3 seconds, and the rest of the field behind him down a lap. Michael Matilla in 31st, Jeremy Lucas, Ryan Kristoff, Nathan Bookbender had an issue, Finney, and he had lost control. Alex Barroso comes home a disappointing 35th after getting crash damage. Spencer Rutherford, not a great race for him. Brandon and Andrew Abbott, 48th and 49th. Kevin Fennell, another one of those NASA drivers, going to come home in 50th place. I can't even believe I just said 50th place. And the rest of the grid will scroll on through here. Justin Lee, Nathan Shavine in 52nd. Eric Coutil, huge disappointment, 55th place. And Jonathan Yu, another driver, going to be in 59th place and round out the field. Again, a record-breaking 98 live viewers here on SimTV. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for tonight's race. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short break. We're going to get some interviews, and then we'll be on for race number 2. We'll invert the top 10 drivers and go again. And that's what's coming up here in the next couple minutes. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Sim TV. We're here with race winner Kenton Cook and the driver of the number 8 car. And Kenton, fortunately, you were able to drive away from what was absolutely chaotic behind you. But walk us through that race. It was pretty entertaining behind you, but what'd you see out the windshield in that thing?
Well, not much. Fortunately, very fortunately. Unfortunate for the guys behind me to have some incidents behind them, but it was good fun. I was glad to basically revamp myself from the Porsche race at Road America. So it was good fun, and there was no one in front of me to hit, so that was a good thing.
Absolutely. So as we head into race number 2, you'll be starting in 10th position, and obviously passing at Lime Rock a little bit difficult. Really the best place to do it is down in turn number 1, but where's another place you can kind of force the issue if you need to?
You know, you can really pass everywhere here, to be honest, so long as you get the run. Obviously, the more dangerous spots are the uphill and the downhill, and obviously going into West Bend. But the thing is, if they make a mistake, you get your nose in there and you're good to go. But the certainly more entertaining ones that are certainly possible are going into turn 3. And if you have an off shot at catching someone when they make a mistake coming off of 3, you can really kind of stuff them into 4. So honestly, you can pass anywhere here. It's just whether or not you want to take the risk.
All right, Kenton, we'll let you get joined up to the next session, but good luck out there, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane once again. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks. This is going to be awesome.
All right, now we're going to talk to second place driver Rob Wilkinson, driver of the number 37. Rob, we were just talking to Kenton, and he said there wasn't a whole lot to see out the windshield there, but quite a bit in the mirror, and you were involved in a bunch of battles mid-race there. But just walk us through that race and what it's like to race 60 cars around Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, you know, I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit more chaotic than it was, even at front. I figured by lap 2 or 3, it would be like starting at the back of the pack. But we kind of took off and had decent pace, so we didn't see a whole lot of that.
As we head into race number 2, I believe you'll be starting in 9th position, and I think keeping that 8 car behind you is going to be pretty important. And Kenton said you can basically pass anywhere here. Do you feel like that's the case? I mean, it's a very high grip conditions out there, so maybe it makes that a little bit easier.
I wouldn't say anywhere. Maybe Kenton can pass anywhere. I feel like there's a few good spots. Setting people up on the inside on the way into the left-hander, especially when they don't expect it, usually works pretty well. I've gone outside a couple of people on the left-hander because you can kind of stuff it into the inside of the next turn. It kills the lap, but you'll gain a position. But really, I find that setting people up through West Bend and the downhill, you know, is not a guaranteed pass into one, but it's the best spot. Otherwise, you got to kind of catch people out.
All right, Rob. Well, we wish you good luck. We'll let you get joined to the next session, and hopefully the second race will go as good as the first one did. We'll see you out there.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, Vinny, that'll wrap up the interviews for race number 1 here. We would do a couple more, but drivers are more focused on getting into the second session, which is obviously their priority and should be ours now as well. With 60 cars on the grid, you got to get all the paint schemes loaded and all that sort of thing. So we hit max viewers that we've ever seen on Sim TV in race number 1, 99 live viewers here, Vinny, and hopefully we can do even better than that for race number 2.
Yeah, looking forward to it, especially with the inverted grid, seeing guys going from the lower half, not lower half, from, I guess, from around 10th place up back into first, and then everyone else who had gained some spots in the first race, trying to gain even more in race 2.
All right, we'll see you in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. We'll be back as soon as we're loaded in. We'll see you in a moment. Welcome back live here to Sim TV. It's time for race number 2 of the Track Midwest Cup Series in the MX-5 here tonight. Race 1 was not quite as chaotic as we thought it was going to be. There was a lot of single car incidents, Finian, but for the most part, relatively clean racing. Yeah,
and we usually say that, and then race 2 happens and all hell breaks loose. And we've done several series that use a 2-race format. Scars Ferrari Challenge. Which has been coming for a while. Yeah, see, that's exactly what.
Whoa, someone just got sent to space.
Yeah, someone needs to join SpaceX. I saw someone barrel rolling down the hill as well. But we've done, like I said, we've done a lot of 2-race format series, especially even this series when it was the Porsche series, and they had 40 cars and it was still chaotic. So you can imagine 60 cars at Lime Rock, how that's going to end up.
And you see Eric Coutil go for a slide, and remember, I believe he finished 55th in that race. Yeah. So. He's going to have a not very good starting position.
And that's the thing, too, is that now that race 1 is over, a lot of faster drivers who didn't have the best opportunity in the first race and lost quite a few positions, like Eric Coutil and the like, they have to move up now through the field, or try to move up through the field, and that's going to be a lot of chaos, and especially also considering the field invert with the top 10 drivers.
Yeah, and luckily it's not an inverting of more drivers.
Oh, no, yeah, that would be...
Because 10's going to be bad enough, but the problem
no one would finish.
The problem with the field invert, Finian, is that you put the really fast guys behind the guys that aren't quite as fast, and the fast guys are pushing the issue to get past them.
Yeah.
And they put the drivers in 3 wide or 4 wide or even 5 wide
and I think it's even going to be worse in this car, considering how comfortable you can be in this car in a lot of corners.
Yeah.
It makes drivers put their cars where they probably otherwise put it. So gonna have to look forward to that.
Yeah, we mentioned before that you know, the non-points event makes drivers more aggressive, and we did see some of that in race number 1, not as much as I thought.
No, yeah, it was fairly tame, but I mean, yeah, now it's race 2, so all hell's going to probably break loose.
You know, I would love to see what happens to Eric Coutil starting all the way back in 55th place. Although there's not quite as many cars in this session here, so it's not going to be 55, it's going to be more like 53. So that'll help him a little bit, but that's not saying a whole lot. You can see, actually, you know who is the lucky man of the day is John Allen in the number 22
Oh, yeah,
car.
We didn't highlight, but yeah, he finished in 10th, was able to recover from that big spin. He's going to be starting on pole, so he's probably going to be very happy with that starting position.
First place starting position in 53 car grids. That's where you want to be, and Allen's got the pace to be up there. Andrew Lanning in 2nd, Luke McGrew 3rd. Potter 4th, Ken Hausil starting in 5th. That's a good place to be. Jeremy Swenson, Cathers, Wilkinson, Kenton Cook rounding out your top 10. Austin Barnes in the 28 car. This is a guy that knows exactly how to start just outside the top 10. I think this is probably his like 5th, 11th place start that we've ever seen him run. So, yeah, well, let's try it again.
I'm sure he's probably sick of it and wants to start up further. But yeah, getting ready to get about 53, I believe, was the amount of cars we have in this race. So slightly smaller field, but still going to be entertaining nonetheless. And that man, John Dee Allen, is going to be leading these guys to green.
And waiting for the lights to go out. Waiting for the green lights. 15 more minutes. And we are jump start from Wilkinson.
That's Rob Wilkinson. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's going to have a penalty, but green flag is out in the air. And oh, Hausil got a fantastic start. He's going to already send it up the middle.
Up the middle goes Ken Hausil as the field makes their way down to turn number 1. Does everyone make it through as clean this time as they did last time? We got one getting turned, and it's across the grid. And spins off into the turn 1 runoff.
Is that Wilkinson again?
No, I don't think it was. It was that purple machine, and then Eric Coutil goes around as well. So he goes for a spin.
And they're still making contact here.
Got one facing the wrong direction here. A little bit of chaos. Look at this, 5 wide in turn 2 here at Lime Rock.
Yeah, everyone trying to sort themselves out, but back up front, John Dee Allen's leading the field with not a care in the world. With everyone you can see jumping over the hill. Ooh, someone going way off the track there.
Trying to see who that is, and it's Cathers in the 38 car, way out wide, and obviously a big slip there.
And there you see 37 of Rob Wilkinson. He's going to have to come down pit road, serve a penalty for jumping the start, so it's going to be an unfortunate break, and he's going to come down pit road now.
Here comes Kenton Cook. He's still in, I believe. He's made up a couple spots now, up to 8th, I believe. Taking a look to the inside of Swenson.
Oh, that was a late dive. Wow.
Oh, tries to make it, jumps the curb. Austin Barnes tried to follow him through there. Not quite enough, though. Man, again, the aggression level, especially for guys like Kenton Cook, is up and very, very high right now as the rest of the field makes their way through. Again, a little bit of carnage on that first lap, but the rest of the field making their way okay. John Dee Allen leads Andrew Lanning by 0.6 of a second as we head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Allen's already got a pretty solid lead over the rest of the field, but everyone else, especially in the top 10, all very close together.
Battle is now for second. Andrew Lanning, Christopher Potter all over the rear bumper of this 18 car. I don't remember where Potter started in race number 1, but he passed a lot of cars and doing really, really well here tonight.
Yeah, it started, I believe, he'll finish 8th or 9th in and around that place, so is making the most of his starting position. But here you see Kenton Cook to the inside of Swenson now.
And he's going to probably make this move stick this time. Hard on the brakes into turn 1. Hops the curb to the inside of Swenson. He goes, and he'll complete that pass in turns 1 and 2 and set his sights on the green and white 27 car of Luke McGrew.
Oh, I was going to say, he wasn't entirely clear. Just got clear out of the corner. And yeah, he's going to try to move up, make some work through the field. But this is going to be tough to do. He's got a lot of cars ahead, and all these guys are hungry for position.
Ken Houseal sitting in 3rd place right now and was the quickest of the top 5 the last time through. Can the 23 car get a victory here tonight? We take a look back here. Ollie Solly hard in the wall, and that's Austin Barnes' huge crash on the back straightaway.
Yeah, Ollie missing a wheel. That's how hard the impact was. So his Ollie's race is pretty much done.
And crashed and out for those drivers. We'll head back up towards the front again. Lanning and Houseal nose to tail, and Lanning and Houseal are both
and everyone
wide.
Goes off the track. I think Swenson was the only one in the top 10 to make the corner. Here comes Houseal looking to the inside.
And takes a look to the inside of Andrew Lanning, and will get hard on the brakes, go down a couple of gears. We'll take that spot away.
Easily does so, Lanning giving him the room. And Houseal going to set his sights on John Dee Allen up ahead, but here's the battle between Justin Hill and Christopher Potter.
And that battle between Lanning and Hill is heating up now. Whoa, there's a slow car, and that's the... Oh, couldn't quite tell who that was.
It's a lap down car, not sure.
Jeremy Lucas in the 14? Yes, indeed. Wow, that car is absolutely... Let's quickly take a look and see what happened to this 14 car. Oh, never mind. That car's been destroyed for quite some time. And Kenton Cook now up to 6th. Taking a look for 5th. That's Christopher Potter. That is right on his tail. Or, excuse me, right in front of him. We're right on board with Kenton Cook.
Potter jumping the curb, and Hill off the track. He's going to have to rejoin. He's going to have to be careful, but lose a lot of time. And here comes Kenton Cook through the grass.
Oh, into the grass, passing the grass. Here comes the 8 car to the inside. A hard on the brakes, gets by Christopher Potter up to 4th. An incredible move by Kenton Cook.
Yeah, Cook makes the pass, and he's going to, again, moving up through the field. Gets a little bit loose out of 2. Potter comes trying to get a position back, but can't get it done. So now Kenton Cook only's got Lanning and Houseal to deal with before he can get to John Dee Allen.
Well, Ken Houseal has gotten around Lanning, like we said before, and now he's still quicker than John Dee Allen. Last time by was 3/10.
Yeah, that's a big difference. So Houseal making some quick time up. So if Kenton Cook can get there, we should see a potentially 3-way battle for the lead here.
And the rest of the top 10 in a pretty tight grouping here. Eric Coutil in the number 82 is up to 25th after starting at the rear of the field. And after all that carnage has found his way to get around some cars, there's still some battles going on in front of him, though.
And if you notice, too, you can see that everyone's pretty migrating to pretty much a pack going around the track, which is not something you really see a lot in road racing, but you definitely see it a lot in the MX-5, just due to their nature.
Started 49th up to 25th. That is an improvement if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's pretty much because he was moved up halfway through the grid. Which doesn't sound too impressive when you consider, but until you hear that there's 50 cars. Here's Hill to the inside of Potter, and they're both going to be fighting on the back straight. Who's going to give in here?
I don't think either one of them will, but remember, we have that right-hander coming up with the off-camber runoff area. With that tire barrier, is Potter going to have to give way? He does, and just going to miss that tire barrier on corner exit.
Oh, and now because he gave way, here comes Swenson to the inside trying to make an opportunity out of it.
And he'll take it.
Yeah, and again, it's very important to be on to the right side when you're passing here, because there's only one left-hand turn. Every other turn is a right-hander.
And look, whoa, Kenton Cook is wide up in 4th place right now, but let's take a look at the leader, John Dee Allen, up in front of Ken Houseal. Houseal's there to the rear bumper of the 22 car. Here he comes.
Yeah, try to send it in, try to get Allen to kind of second-guess the corner, but pretty much did nothing to phase him, and this is going to be a big battle.
And up over the curbs here, he can be really aggressive with them.
Yeah, watch how Houseal set up that corner. He set it up beautifully. He's going to build up a run here. Can he make the pass, or will he even make the pass?
He's going to take a look. Will he make it? No, he's going to sit in behind, maybe wait for turn 1. Remember, you heard Kenton Cook say that you can pass probably anywhere, and Rob Wilkinson disagreed and said, well, maybe Kenton can do that. What about Ken Houseal?
I mean, really, it just comes down to the size of your cojones, because you really need some big ones to go up through the hill side by side like that. But again, when it comes down, when push comes to shove, I definitely think we're going to see some drivers take the opportunity. Well, Kenton Cook trying to earn his rallycross license.
Well, he's been wide a couple times, and Continues to run wide in corner.
Wide is an understatement.
Yeah.
He's completely off the track. But Halcyon again looking to the inside of Allen.
He's there.
Wow, Allen slipped up mid-corner. And here comes Kenton Cook, but he's going to be on the outside again. The only left hand on the track, and I think Allen might have it here. And there you see Halcyon back off.
Setting up the crossover here, but there's not anywhere to go. He'll be outside line coming to the right-hander. Going to try to cross him up again and have a run at him down the back straightaway. Does he wait or does he force the pass here? He's right on the bumper. Does he take a look? No, he'll stay in behind. We were about halfway through this race here, Finian, but you would think we're on the last lap.
I'm sure, definitely think Halcyon's going to be happy it's not the last lap. He's got a few more opportunities to get around John Dee Allen, and also this is a good opportunity to try to figure out where he can pass Allen. Where's Allen worse than Halcyon is, and where is Allen better? Is he?
Ryan Kristoff goes wide, and he's going to spin right in front of the pack. Oh, he keeps it in the wall.
Ooh, okay.
And here is the pass for the lead, and Ken Halcyon to the outside. But again, not much you can do out here.
No, it's not. Halcyon's really going to have to try to pinch Allen to the inside, and he can't do that, so he's going to get it. Here comes Kenton Cook around landing.
This is shaping up to be quite the race. Kenton Cook, race 1 winner, is now in position number 3, trying to chase down the top 2 drivers as they are out to a 1-second advantage over P3 right now.
Yeah, and here's the thing now. I can imagine how Seal's going to be now looking into his rearview mirror, and he's got to kind of figure out that he's got to get around Allen now as soon as he can. Because if he wastes time behind Allen, he's going to let Cook come up, and I'm sure Halcyon doesn't want to be in the middle of a 3-way fight for the lead.
Obviously, everyone knows how quick Kenton Cook is, and last time by, Halcyon was a little bit quicker than Kenton Cook. Remember, Cook was dealing with Andrew Lanning, so we'll see this time by what the lap times look like. Now, John Dee Allen keeps it in line. Will he go defensive on the front straight, or will Ken Halcyon take a look?
He's got a big draft, and you see Allen taking the defensive line into 1. So this is something that...
Oh, wow! Close quarters there, for sure.
Yeah, so and this is something that Halcyon doesn't want. He doesn't want to constantly be going to the outside. He's going to have to fight... He has to find an opportunity to where he can catch Allen off guard and get the dominant lane.
And if you take a look, that pink car, the 8 car of Kenton Cook, he's got Andrew Lanning all over him, but they are catching the 23 and 22 that are out front right now. Last time by, it was about 2/10 quicker for the 8 car of Kenton Cook.
Yeah, and those 2/10 are going to add up here. We got about 10 laps to go, so they're going to catch him at this rate, so Halcyon's really going to have to get him moving. Oh, he's going to spin into the wall he goes.
Oh, Cook. Oh,
that's Halcyon. Yeah, I saw him take up a lot of curbing through that corner and into the wall he went. He wasn't able to make the corner, so that's a big wreck.
Yeah, I got to get a better look at this because I didn't even see it the first time. You had a good eye there, Finney. Let's take a look from maybe up above. Does he clip the curb too much? Yeah, he bounces, and that's, oh man, horrible for Ken Halcyon.
And that's where, you know, you with these drivers, with this car, you're on the edge of grip every single corner. And unfortunately, Halcyon ran out of that, and he's going to put in the wall, and it's going to be race over for him.
That opens up the vulnerability for John Dee Allen. Kenton Cook running from behind. Both these drivers have extensive real-world racing experience. This battle of the pros here at Lime Rock Park.
And honestly, I think that's Cook's probably smiling. That made his job a lot easier. Instead of having to pass 2 really fast cars, he only got to pass really 1. And landing into the wall. And here comes Hill behind, trying to make an opportunity.
He scraped it pretty good there, but not a whole lot of damage on that 18 car. These things are pretty beefy, so they can take a hit. Justin Hill closing now. He might want to take advantage of it, and Swenson is closing from behind as well, so these guys got to be careful. You see up front, John Dee Allen getting a draft off of the lap machine and trying to extend his lead, but last time by 2/10 quicker for Kenton Cook. It is enough time to get there if this race goes green. To the end, which it will, because it's a road race. That's my oval racing commentary coming into the fact. Here's Christopher Potter.
Oh, he's run off the track, and he's going to lose a lot of spots here. He's keeping one wheel at sick drift.
Hanging the rear end out into the dirt.
And he's actually not going to lose a lot of time. The entire top 8 is separated by from the rest of the field by quite a bit, about 7 seconds or so. So Potter's going to be able to get it going again.
A little bit of argy-bargy on the back straight. Andrew Lanning, Justin Hill. And Hill looking to the outside on corner exit. Nothing you can do there.
Yeah, and Hill is all over Lanning's back bumper trying to make this pass.
We're right on board here down to the penultimate and final corner.
And you can hear the tires screaming on the edge of grip. And here comes Hill with the run to the inside of Lanning. And I think this is going to be pretty textbook here as they head into 1.
And as this pass is going on, that pass is complete. What about this one? Luke McGrew on James Cathers to the inside. Won't be able to complete it, actually. An interesting move there. Justin Hill, though, up to 3rd place. Kenton Cook is still closing, but the gap between them hasn't really changed a whole lot.
Yeah, he only gained about a few hundredths of a second last time through, which is kind of curious. Which I'm kind of curious about. So I thought Cook would be eating in a lot more, but at this rate, I think Allen might have this.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go. It's about 3 laps left around Lime Rock Park. You see the field relatively spread out amongst the front runners as we take a look through the field. Chris Boersma and Emil Tab, the fourth there in the 30 car. These guys are battling for 17th place. Pretty close battle here with Dan Capaldo behind. And Capaldo did not have a very good... Ooh, who's that off course there?
Oh, 50?
It's a 50 car. It's
Yeah.
Ryan Kristoff. He's been off course a couple times tonight. Still running in 29th, 3 laps down.
Yeah, currently I have 25 cars on the legal lap in these final few minutes. But yeah, going back up to the front, not a big change again, only about a few hundredths of a second, so I think at this rate, Allen might have this.
If Allen makes one little mistake, though, Cook will be all over him, and he's within draft range now, about 1 second gap, so that's going to be about a 1/10 and a half, 2/10 a lap difference for the trailing 8 car. So if Kenton Cook needs to really prioritize the corner exit speed in this final corner, you see him jumping the curb there. He really needs to make these last couple corners as wide as possible to get a good run. Let's take a look here. A good run on corner exit, 0.8 of a second. He's within draft range here. It's not out of the question. Be about 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and again, Cook has to make sure he makes not a single mistake. If he messes up, he's going to lose. He charges the corner with a lot of ferocity.
And this is really desperation at this point. 0.7 of a second. He's closed a little bit more. Last time by was 0.4 of a second quicker. He needs to do that 2 laps in a row to get there. But John Dee Allen is so good on the back half of the course.
Yeah, I think that's where Cook's going to probably lose his time. And yeah, again, Cook has to make sure with the speed he's running with the more intense lines that he's taking, he has to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. Because that could easily take him out of the running.
Up over the curbs and down into the final corner once again. 56 seconds remaining, and will this be it? This will be the final lap. John Dee Allen has to go one more lap around here at Lime Rock Park to pick up a victory. Kenton Cook has to make up 0.9 of a second, make it 1 full second to come out as the sweeper victory in round number 1 here, the exhibition round of the Track Midwest Cup. I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
No, it actually was slower by 0.2 the last lap through, so I think Allen's going to have this.
Maybe it's one of those situations where you have to go slow to go fast.
But they actually, there are some lap cars up ahead. There's a car off the track, but...
Yeah, that's the 50 again, but I don't think they're going to... They might catch that blue car off in the distance, but I don't think it's going to matter too much here. 1 second separates the top 2 as we conclude the final lap, about half a lap to go here.
And here comes Allen over the hill. There's Cook in behind, charging with a lot of might, but it's not going to be enough through the final corners.
John Dee Allen, again, just like Kenton Cook did in race number 1, from the sim to real world racing, back to the sim, victorious here at Lime Rock Park. John Dee Allen, victorious in the Track Midwest Cup Series. Kenton Cook comes home in 2nd, Justin Hill in 3rd, Andrew Lanning 4th, and Jeremy Swenson in 5th. Take a look at the rest of the field coming through now.
Yeah, Richard Winningham in the 81. He's going to come home in 9th. James Patak going to come home in 10th.
Haven't seen him the whole race. He just kind of snuck in here. Wow, look at Eric Coutil taking a curb hop. Look at this guy here, Fenian. Take a look at this stat. Started in 49th. It's going to come home in 15th place. What an incredible drive.
Yeah, I think he's going to definitely be happy with that. What a drive for that 82 car.
And he'll celebrate it.
Ooh.
Scratching off course there. And the rest of the field comes on through. And I believe that those are the final couple cars to make their way across the start-finish line here. 49th to 15th. That is phenomenal. I mean, granted, it had a little bit of help there with a couple incidents, but still an incredible, incredible climb forward. Contact there to close this one out here, Finian, but let's take a look at the results. Obviously, this one was another great race, and a lot closer up front this time.
Yeah, definitely. So, a great battle between John Dee Allen, Ken Halseal, and Kenton Cook. Unfortunately, Halseal had an incident, wasn't able to fight through to the end, but still great battles nonetheless.
Alex Barroso comes home 11th in this one, recovers from a poor race number 1, and Eric Coutil, really the story of this race. We didn't follow it a whole lot, but from 49th to 15th an incredible drive forward. Emil Tab, the fourth, had some issues in that 27th place number 30 car late in the run. Ryan Kristoff in the 50, we documented his issues, off track a couple times. Ken Hausiel, disappointing 30th place finish after having such a strong run early.
Yeah, we lost a lot of cars this race. Looking at it, I think about 27th on back we're all crashed. They're 3 laps down to the leaders. I think we lost almost half the field through incidents throughout the race.
Yeah, so looks like the final driver in this field, if we scroll over one more time here on the unofficial results, 50th place for Max Lupfer, 51st for Ben, I believe that's Mitch. It could be Mike, but I'm not really sure. And it looks like the last two drivers, Stuart Reese and Jeff Pritchard, didn't actually start the race, I don't believe. So that is all for the results here. We're going to go to break real quick. We'll get some interviews, and then we'll wrap this one up here, Finian. What a wild event. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back live here to SimTV. We're here now with fourth place finisher Andrew Lanning, driver of the number 18 car. Andrew, what a fantastic race. Pretty much everywhere inside the top 10. That front group was really, really close together. And a top 5 result, you got to be smiling after that one.
Yeah, you know, it is kind of a shame to start second and then fall back, but I ran out of talent on the grid there, and all the fast guys came up from behind us.
Obviously, Lime Rock Park is a pretty one-line racetrack around a lot of it. You have to use the curbs to your advantage, but I was talking to Kenton Cook earlier, and he said that you felt like you could pass pretty much anywhere, but what was your experience in terms of having to be defensive? Did you have to defend everywhere, or was it really just down the front straightaway?
Down the front straightaway mainly. Most people aren't crazy enough to make moves on the back half of the poke their nose in there just to kind of try and unsettle you, but otherwise it's all right.
All right, well, again, congratulations on a solid top 5 finish. Obviously, an exhibition event tonight, but points-paying races next week, and we'll see you at Watkins Glen. Thanks for talking to us, Andrew.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk to Kenton Cook once again, and we talked to him after race number 1. Kenton Cook, driver of the number 8 car, a second-place finish tonight. Needed a couple more laps to get up there to John Allen, but again, a great drive forward after starting back in position number 10. Walk us through the climb forward.
They were just falling off the road in front of me, so it was kind of helping. But I was able to kind of position myself as well to just be able to take advantage of some opportunities that people in front of me, they just bogged themselves down, and one of the sketchy ones going down the hill. So you got a bad run out of West Bend, and I got underneath. I don't know who it was, but yeah, that was good fun racing though. It's good.
I want to talk a little bit about next week because we head to Watkins Glen International, which is a very different racetrack from Lime Rock Park. There's a lot more speed, a lot more drafting going on. So does that change your approach to how you run these races, or is it really just qualify good and stay out front?
You got to have a buddy if you can. So it's certainly helpful to be able to have someone to partner up with. Just like back in MX-5 Cup when I ran in 2014. I was like the lone shark most of the time because I had no teammates, but it made it more difficult when you didn't have that buddy versus like when I was racing against Six Sideways and those boys there, they were always teaming up on me. So yeah, you got to have a teammate to be able to team up with and whatnot. But if you're the lone shark, I mean, you can still get it up there. The draft isn't as big in online as it is in real life, so you can certainly still break the draft if you catch a good couple laps.
All right, Kenton. Well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you next week at WGI.
Thank you, sir. See you then.
All right, next, we're going to talk to race winner John Dee Allen, driver of the number 22. John, what an incredible drive there. Obviously started on pole, were able to hold on to it, but you had Ken Seal all over your rear bumper for the majority of that race, and then you had to worry about Kenton Cook tracking you down in the final couple laps. So what was it like from your perspective looking through the mirror?
Well, that was the key. Don't look in the mirror, right? He charged up there and got the draft with time to go where, any mistake and he'd have been on me. And the same was true with Ken. He made, some good moves early. So I was just trying everything in my power to make up for race 1, which honestly could have been a lot worse. I did make an early mistake and I took out Eric, which was a shame, but it could have been the entire field given where it happened. So lucky enough to charge back to P10 at the end of 1 to get a chance to start front row both races.
All right, and obviously we head to a very different racetrack next week, Watkins Glen International, our home track here at SimTV. Hopefully we'll see you back there, but I was asking Kenton Cook about the kind of different racing that you get, and obviously with your experience in the Global MX-5 Cup cars, a lot of drafting. He said you got to find a partner. Is it find one partner or find a couple in case something happens like Ken Seal crashing out earlier tonight?
Yeah, you manage it as you go. Obviously, more cars equals more speed, but it's also more variables. So, if you wind up with 3 or 4 cars, then, you can make some real time up those big hills with the little power that the Mazda has, or doesn't. but, more cars involved equals more chance for catastrophe, when it gets tight late. So, but these guys all have pretty racecraft, and you trust that it'll just put on a good show.
All right, well, we'll let you go, John. Thanks for talking to us, and hopefully we'll see you again next week at WGI. We'll see you later. And last but not least, we're going to drag in Eric Coutil, driver of the number, 82 car. And some of the numbers changed. Also, Eric, I have to mention, before we interview you, we're at 499 subscribers right now. We're about to hit crazy. 500. So if anybody's out there that is not subscribed,
hit that subscribe button right now, actually.
Hit that button and tick us over. That would be absolutely phenomenal. But Eric, also phenomenal tonight was your drive forward, starting 49th and finishing 15th. Walk us through that climb forward.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm proud of the whole community because we spent the whole week trying to plan this out because we had more than 62 people trying to get in, and we did some qualifying, and it went really smoothly. So props to everybody for joining the right rooms and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a good race. My first race ended really short because John ended up spinning in front of me, and I avoided him and lost it in the process, which thankfully only took me and him out, no one else, I think. But the second race started 49th, and just try to stay clean, race hard, try to get back up front. It's a lot of fun starting back there and making positions, and I think I got on the top 15 by the end of it.
All right, Eric. Obviously, that was pretty phenomenal race for you. But as we head into next week, Watkins Glen, I was talking to John Allen and Kenton Cook about the difference racing there. This is a small track, not a whole lot of draft, but next week it's all about drafting.
Yeah,
do you have
definitely going to be a lot of draft involved in that track. I'm kind of excited. I think there's going to be probably a pack of 15 cars at the front is what I'm hoping for. And I think it's going to be a little bit of strategy involved trying to stay up front or maybe not stay up front until the very end, I guess.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on another solid finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the host.
No problem. All right, Finian, we are... Oh. Little party horn hitting 500 subs, and we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Obviously, we started about 51 weeks ago in February of 2018, and to come into our first full year of broadcasting to hit 500 subscribers, it's a very small number in the grand scheme of things, but it's absolutely phenomenal, and we want to give everyone a huge thank you. It's been an exceptional ride. We've come so long. I actually encourage everyone to go back and check out some of our first broadcasts and watch about how atrocious they are. I feel like we've come a long way, and hopefully 2019 will hold even greater things.
Yeah, I just want to say today's been absolutely insane with the subscriber count, because at the end of yesterday, we are at 470, so we've gone up 37 in one day, which is absolutely insane.
And again, for a small channel like us with not a whole lot of outside help, no monetization from YouTube or anything, you know, the YouTube algorithm is not in our favor necessarily, so we're really excited about this, and we also want to keep you guys informed about what's coming up here on SimTV so that you know what you can expect to see the next couple weeks and months. So upcoming tomorrow night, we have multi-class racing with the Kia, the Ford Mustang, and the Mazda MX-5 at Watkins Glen International for the Washington, D.C. region SCCA. Those guys put on a fantastic show. That'll be 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. And we got some other stuff. You can see our schedule on simtvbroadcasting.com. We're on Twitter at sim_TV, Facebook at SimTV Broadcasting, and YouTube at, obviously if you're on YouTube, you're here already, so that's good. Also, we are broadcasting for the Spec MX-5 Challenge Sim Racing Series, which is going to be broadcasted on the Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel, which has 500,000 subscribers. That is, the first round will be on February 27th. At 8:30 p.m. So you'll see that link pop up the next couple of days. But we want to give everyone a huge thank you, and we're looking forward to 2019.
Yeah, again, I also got to say again, thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing. Also in the race too, we got about I think 20 in the race alone. So thank you for that. And also just going back to the race itself, that was a fantastic race from these guys. And again, that first little couple laps there with John Allen and Ken Houseal battling, that was shaping up to be something spectacular. Obviously, didn't go well for Houseal, but that seems to happen every once in a while. He's really, really fast, and just sometimes the luck is not on his side. But hopefully next week at Watkins Glen, he can turn that around. I was going to say, luckily for him, no points here for tonight, so he has a chance to rebound next week. Yeah, next week, we're at Watkins Glen International. That is our home track, and hopefully, and this is something we're talking about, I will be at the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen in July, and hopefully, Finian was there last year with me, hopefully he can come again, and we're interested in maybe doing a vlog-style video for that. That might be something kind of fun, and we're also kind of contemplating, maybe potentially, possibly, making our way to the Formula One Canadian Grand Prix. So, we'll see. Things are kind of in motion. Again, we're in college, and we're trying to find internships and jobs, so, you know, we'll see. But hopefully someday this can be our full-time job. That would be pretty awesome. All right, we got to let you guys go, but we'll be back tomorrow night, 8:45 p.m. with the Washington, D.C. region SCCA. I'm Kyle Heyer here with Finian DeCuna from SimTV. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.